friends, and welcome back to my homestead. I was asked by some of my friends and my subscribers to talk about saving money, being frugal, trying to save a little bit here and a little bit there, so at the end you save a lot. There are many ways of saving money, and I'm going to try to cover that topic in a few separate videos about different ways we can save money at home. Here in a homestead, we try to recycle a lot of things, repurpose a lot of things, and also we're trying to cut corners sometimes to save money. Now, what is the reason for saving money? And there are many reasons for saving money and being frugal. Well, one of the reasons is that you never know what's going to happen tomorrow, okay? And being wasteful with resources that God gave you is kind of silly. And we believe in being frugal and living on the budget that we have. So, one of the ways to save money is to make things at home for everyday use. So let me show you what I mean. So this is what I want to show you guys. When you're using a bar of soap and you have these tiny little slivers left over, what do people do with them? Throw them away, right? Well, not here. Here on this homestead, after we use a bar of soap in a shower or at the sink, we don't throw away these little slivers. Instead, I save a few of them. I'm gonna put them on a scale. I'm gonna weigh about half an ounce, okay? This is about half an ounce. And I'm going to shred it and turn it into liquid soap. Liquid soap. So I save these little containers when the soap is empty, okay? Why? Because, you know, you can always make your home liquid soap and refill it. I recently read somewhere that there's a whole generation of Americans that never ever use a bar of soap. Yes, and I actually observed a lot of younger people only use liquid soap, including the gel, shower gel soap and hand pump soap, anything like that, but never using a bar of soap. So whoever invented liquid soap is a very, very brilliant idea, because from these slivers that would be thrown away, I will turn it into a lot of soap. A lot of soap. So things I'm going to need for today's soap making. Well, obviously I need the soap itself, those little slivers that I have. A little scale, but you don't really need a scale. I just wanted to weigh it so we would have an idea how much soap we need. I'm gonna need a measurement spoon because I'm gonna be using some of my vegetable glycerin that I have here. It's a glycerin that I bought, and I buy in bulk, which by the way is optional. You can make liquid soap without it, but I think it's gonna come out a little bit better. Then you're gonna need some water, a measurement cup, a pot where you're gonna be cooking it, a whisk or immersion blender, and to your choice if you want to, just 1 or 2 drops of some sort of essential oil. Now, I try not to put a lot of essential oil because then it becomes too oily and it leaves like oily streaks in my sink, and I don't like it. And then obviously I'm gonna need a cheese grater. Why? Because I need actually to grate all of this soap on a very, very fine cheese grater. Not the big cheese grater, but more of these little fine one, not the big one like this, okay? I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me move my camera. So not this kind, but rather a very fine one. And just shred it. Just shred it. If you don't have a cheese grater, you can always use a knife and just chop it up in very small pieces. And the reason why I'm doing that is because it will be easier to dissolve it in the water, okay? And all I'm doing right now is I'm shredding it. Obviously you can see that I have white soap and blue soap. It really doesn't matter because it's gonna liquefy. It's a very, very simple way of stretching $1, and it's literally a penny, less than a penny, to make so much soap. And you can leave it unscented, but I'm going to scent it with a little bit of essential oil. So because my bottle is from Christmas time, and oh, my hands are getting all soapy here. Because the bottle I have is from Christmas time, and it has picture of pine on it and some birds and pine cones. So I'm gonna put a little bit of essential oil from, what is this called? Hold on a second. It is balsam fir needle. So I'm just gonna put a very little of that, so it will add a nice aroma to the soap. So all I'm doing right now is I just shredded everything, okay? And I'm gonna put it in my measurement cup. So I should have about quarter of a cup of shredded soap, okay? So to a quarter of a cup of shredded soap, I'm going to need 2 cups of water. So here's my 2 cups of water. Okay, and I'm gonna add the soap to it right now. Okay, some of it got stuck to my hands. And this is optional, but I find that the soap comes out better if we add a little bit of vegetable glycerin. And I only have a big jug here. I'm gonna leave a link in the description where I get it from, so you guys can find it as well. So this is a half a tablespoon of vegetable glycerin. And now I'm gonna put it on the stove. Okay, so it's on the stove now. And I'm just going to stir until everything is melted, okay? And it's gonna come to pretty much a boil. So I put it in a large pot, so when I'm stirring, I'm not making a lot of mess. And I'm gonna try not to stir too much, because it's not about creating a lot of foam and a lot of bubbles. It's just to dissolve everything. But I want everything to be dissolved nicely. So this is gonna make a lot of soap. And guys, you only saw that I had literally only half an ounce of slivers of soap. Okay, it's going to be slightly bluish because I had a couple of pieces that were blue. Okay, and it's going to dissolve, and it's going to take a few minutes, and I'm going to just stand here and stir it until everything dissolves nicely. Okay, so it's coming to a boil, and now I have to watch it because I don't want it to run it over because that can happen. It foamed up a little bit because I was stirring it with the whisk. All right, so, and what I need to do now is I need to let it sit and cool. And I'm gonna let it sit here and cool. I'm just waiting for it to come to a boil. And the reason why I like to wait for it to come to a boil, oh, I gotta turn it off, it's gonna run over. I'm gonna wait for it to cool off completely, which may be actually tomorrow morning. It's late in the evening. I'm gonna put a cover on, and I'm gonna let it sit and cool off till morning, and then in the morning it should become a little bit more gelatinous, okay? A little bit more gelatinous, and then I can add my oils for aroma, and I'm gonna put them in the bottle. And once in a while it's okay to shake it because it may solidify and may, I should say gelatinous, like become a little gelatinous, and it's okay to mix it because it may separate a little bit. I am not going to put any kind of preservative, okay? Because it came to a boil, the water was boiled, it's soap, and I'm not gonna, I know there are some recipes that call for preservative, but I'm not gonna do that, okay? So it's still quite runny right now because it's very hot, okay? So we'll continue tomorrow morning and we'll see what happens. Okay friends, so several hours has passed and it completely cooled off. It's cold now to touch. And I've noticed, and I'm going to bring this a little closer to the camera so you can see it. And I've noticed that a little bit of water has separated from the solid. Can you guys see that? A little water has separated. That's not unusual. That is okay. It definitely solidified, but it separated a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix it all together right now. Just like this. I don't want to make any bubbles. It's not what it's about. And I'm going to put some of this into my container. Now, There are different types of container. One that's going to provide just like a pump of soap, and the other one is where you can mix it with and make it more foamy. So this, for example, is going to make a very foamy kind of soap. Let me tell you, the foamy kind of soap is a genius idea where you can really stretch your soap. And I'm going to put some few drops of essential oil. Now listen, I hope you guys understand that essential oils are very, very concentrated. In order to make essential oils, they really have to go through a ton and ton of plant material to create this essential oil. So I'm going to be using balsam fir needle, and I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. I'm not going to put more than that because I want to get a little bit of fragrance, but I don't want to leave a lot of, and I'm just going to mix it together. Because if I put too much essential oils, and that has happened to me in the past, is that then the sink would feel literally oily. You would see like little streaks of oil in the sink, and I don't like that. I don't like that in my sink. So it's gonna give a really nice aroma, but not too much. And like, again, I'm doing that because this is my old Christmas container. It has some pine cones on it. It has some birds. Very foresty, so I felt that this is going to be perfect. Now I'm going to fill this up into my container, but remember how I mentioned that my container creates that foamy kind of soap. I really do not need a lot of it. Let me just grab a cup. So I'm just going to put a couple of ounces into my container, and the rest is going to be water. Okay, the rest is going to be just water. Why? Because it has to be very diluted to create that foam, because right now it's pretty thick. Do you see the consistency? It's still floating very nicely, but it is very gelatinous. So I filled up probably, I don't know, because I'm going to fill up with the rest with water. So I'll put a couple of ounces, maybe 2-3 ounces in here, and then I have boiled and cooled off some water, and I'm going to fill up with water. Okay, this is boiled water because it's gonna have less chance of growing bacteria, and I'm not putting any other kind of preservative. All right, so I'm gonna put my container, I'm gonna shake it all up. Once in a while when you're in the bathroom, just shake this container because it still may separate a little bit, but it's okay. Literally fraction of penny to $1. Let me open my container, and it's going to produce beautiful foam. Now, what do I do with the rest of this? Because I still have a lot. Well, I have an empty clean jar, and I'm just going to fill up into my jar, and it's going to be for my future use. And I almost have a pint here of soap left. All right, I'm going to put a cover on. I'm going to put a label on. Okay, it smells so nice in my kitchen. So here it is. Here's my soap. Okay friends, so I just made some liquid soap. I'm gonna put this in the sink right now to use to wash hands every day, because we do wash hands very frequently in a homestead. And then I still have about a pint left that I'm gonna keep replenishing the soap container. And it's gonna last me through the fall and all the way into Christmas time. So friends, I hope you consider being a little bit more frugal in your household. Learn how to save a little money here and there. So be encouraged and try something new.